Imagine being the planner for Taylor and Travis's wedding. No way you'd survive without AI handling half the chaos. And honestly, neither should we. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Cerebral Pundits. My name is Avita. I have my co-host Casey here with me today. How are you, Casey?
What's up, Amita? What's going on? What are we talking about today?
Today's a good one. It's a little bit different than some of our own other content, but the basics are the same. We are going to be discussing AI, but today's is meant especially for our entrepreneur friends that are wedding planners. So if you're an event
Ooh,
planner, wedding planner, you're running a small business, maybe you're running a large business with this, because let's be real, lots of events out there. This one's for you. So we're going to run through some different AI tools that you could use to cut down your time and stress as you're planning all these great events.
so question: Are we going to talk about the wedding? Wedding? What are we talking? Big wedding?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay. Maybe I just heard on some news we got a big wedding kind of going on right now. So
Oh, you're talking about that wedding.
that wedding.
The
Let's
one
talk.
we're all tired of seeing already, and it hasn't happened. No, honestly, we're excited for them. Obviously, if you haven't seen yet, which I don't know how, maybe you don't have social media, but Taylor and Travis just got engaged. But this actually brought a good point because it brought some awareness to us that, hey, as entrepreneurs, there are many, many different businesses out there, and we wanted to make sure this one shines today.
Absolutely, absolutely. So how do we want to attack this? Because I feel like when you put on a wedding, there's so many different things, so many different departments and structures and whatnot. So how do we want to kind of attack this one?
So I think with this to start off, let's be real, we go to AI to brainstorm, a lot of us anyways to start off with. So I think what we could do is go over to one of our trusted sites and just ask it for some recommendation on some of the bigger categories that we see throughout wedding planning. So everything from starting maybe what colors or what you want for the DJ to play, flowers. Let's just kind of see what it spits out at us. Maybe it could even give us a table or something like that, and we can run through it together.
Awesome. So let's put together a hypothetical wedding. So let's talk about theme and inspiration, right?
Mhm.
So what would you say? What would be a good theme inspiration? Where would you go?
Ooh, I feel like people are gonna want something that's probably a little romantic, probably a little bit, maybe they want more formal. Maybe it's a larger wedding, so there might be a lot more logistics to plan for that.
All right. So I think that's a great idea. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can put our own wedding together utilizing just AI tools in general. All right. So tell me what you got.
Absolutely. So let's do some live examples today and kind of walk through what it would look like to use these for an actual wedding. So you're the event planner. Let's say you have a couple come to you. I just went ahead and took a vision, dropped it into Chat GBT to help out with a prompt, but you could very easily do this as well on your own. So let's say the couple comes to you, they've got their ideas ready. They want this romantic garden wedding, Tuscany scene. They want all the sages and gold accents. They want it to be very elegant, timeless. I dropped this in there. It put out a really nice prompt that we can now head over to one of these AI tools and use it to help generate some different pictures and images to kind of give us an idea of what might be nice for, say, their wedding invitations or other things they want to incorporate.
So we're on Ideogram, and I'm taking the prompt that Vita mentioned, and let's see what it can generate.
Yeah.
So as you can see, as it's loading up, these are some of the prompts that we put in earlier just for like a spring wedding. As you
Mhm.
see, it pushed out invitations, has a nice background, it has the spring colors. But the prompt that she recently sent, this is a little bit more detailed. So let's
Yeah.
see exactly what it pushes out here. Oh wow, look at that. Look at
Ooh,
that, Avita.
look at that. You didn't have to
Let's
go to Pinterest, gather it all together, put it
so
together
let
yourself. Done.
let's read the prompts. Create a wedding theme concept concept board for a romantic garden wedding in Tuscany. Include design ideas for color palette, soft blush, sage green, and gold accents, floor arrangements, rose, is that peonies, and
Mhm.
olive branches, table setting, rustic wood tables with elegant place cards, lighting and ceremony backdrop. Present the overall mood as warm, elegant, and timeless. I'd say it did that. That looks really good. That
These look
looks really good.
And how helpful is that too? Because imagine maybe they brought you more chopped up visions, or maybe they just verbally told you and you're going, okay, so how do I recreate this? Something like this could be so helpful. And you can go back to the client as well. It took you a few minutes. I mean, what? You drop it into ChatGPT, maybe there's a minute, and then you come over here, boom, you go back to your client, say, hey, this is what I've created. Is this accurate to your vision? And then now you can start looking into more of the details of how are we going to execute and actually continue to build this out.
So let's talk about next steps. So I'm thinking like invitations, right?
Yeah,
I think
definitely.
we can use tools like Canva AI for invitations,
Absolutely.
Durable, which kind of builds agents and design stuff for invitations.
Yeah.
Um, we can use like the digital, the digital AI invites. Let me see. So let's look at Canva. Let's see if we can put this into Canva. We're going to move over to Canva and we're going to try to search utilizing the same prompts that you mentioned earlier. So let's see what it does. So we're going to search it.
Ooh, and for this, we'd probably want to update instead of the concept, we could say for a invitation.
Ah, you're right. Right. Okay. So let's do that because I definitely messed up on that one.
But that's okay. It's good to see this, guys, because like it's gonna happen. This is totally normal. And also Canva
Okay.
AI is I've been messing around with it pretty decent amount lately. It's pretty good. I would say certain things though, it will let you know too. We might even see it in this where it'll tell you sometimes like, hey, I might not get all the details. Double check if you put any writing in there. Like you can see this one example had names in it. Double check the spelling and things like that because that seems to be the areas that occasionally it kind of gets a little mixed up.
Well, let's see what it actually pulled off here. Oh, nice. This is
Ooh.
pretty good. This is pretty good.
So we got some ideas here. Another option we could do too is take the mood boards that we just made and actually
Mhm.
drop that image into here and say, hey, this is the inspiration. Could you please make me some wedding invitations from this?
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Definitely
All right.
another option there.
So we have our theme, we have our invitations. I feel like we're off to a good start. So
Definitely.
next we would need like venue and maybe like the decor visualization.
Definitely securing a venue for sure.
Okay. So the venue, I guess we can use AI to find a venue, but this might be a little bit more manual, right? Because I most likely, if I'm getting married, I want to do it myself. I don't want AI to tell me exactly where to go. But
Yeah.
there are AI tools out there that you can put the information in, and it will put together a package for you, and it'll, cost and location, this, that, and the other. So you can use AI for that. But I'm going to say for this one, we probably go a little bit more manual. What'd you say?
Yeah, I agree. And I think it would be you're probably going to need some manual input in this portion. And you might have some vendors you already work with that you could use for this, but it might be useful if you're trying to weigh, like you said, different options price wise, or if they have different features or components that you're trying to decide, okay, we have, three different places we're looking at, which would be best suited to try to offer a recommendation. But I think that'll also include some client input there heavily too. So that's okay. Obviously, we're ones that partner with AI. We're not looking for it to replace you. So this is a great example of that, that it can absolutely help you in your business, but it's not necessarily going to be the only way to do anything by any means.
Right. So I think the next step would be to decorate, like visualizations, right? So we
Yeah.
talked about the venue decor. So there's a couple options that when I put this into ChatGPT and mentioned was interior AI. So let me share
Okay.
that with you. So interior AI is going to be a little bit more home interior based, as you can kind of see the images here.
Okay.
But the cool thing about it is you can fill not only just real estate empty homes, you can do commercial rooms as well. So you could take a
Nice.
picture of the room, the scenery, this, that, and the other, and it's going to, push out exactly you know, what you're looking to redesign it to.
That's excellent. Yeah, because to have that visual and then to be able to better plan your layout for day of to make sure that all the crews know where to go, everybody's on the same page so that it can go from an image or a design to real life and really come to life in the way that you're hoping and expecting.
Yeah. So another tool is actually, I'm just going to show this briefly. So this is going to be Runway. So Runway ML is a tool that does images and videos and whatnot. So very similar to like Google VO3 or something like that. You can put actually prompts in here, and it can push out images and videos as well. So just another tool that I wanted to make sure I threw out there.
Awesome. No, that's pretty cool. All right. So, what are we thinking is next up on the list? Where can we help our wedding planner friends?
Okay, so we have our theme, we have our invitations, we have our venue, decor. Now it's time to get dressed.
Cool.
So where are we going to go to do that? There's a
Ooh,
couple different tools that I have for us here.
okay.
So this one is going this tool is called La Land AI, which I love the movie La La Land, so it
Going to
works.
La La Land.
So
Ooh,
this one you can kind of create and customize. So you
amazing.
put the style that you want. uh, Yeah, put the style. Sorry, put the style that you want, and it's um, almost like you're in the dressing room.
Yeah. No, this is
So
awesome.
so you send in your image, and next thing you can put in, hey, wedding dress, or maybe you have some samples of wedding dresses, and what it can do is it can put them on there for you. So that's pretty cool.
That's awesome. And this could be great for yourself, or if you're planning your own wedding, or even just to provide an option for clients to go to, of leveraging that knowledge of saying, hey, go check this out. It might help you, especially if you have somebody that's having trouble visualizing what they want, or especially not only for themselves, but you picture for the groomsmen, the bridesmaids, they might want one style throughout, or sometimes people mix it up and do different versions. So to help them and their wedding parties to be more prepared for that.
Another option, very similar, is going to be Fashion AI. So again, very similar. You can swap out the models. You can put yourself as the model. You can create models, create videos, photo editing. But for this situation, we'll use it for like trying on clothing. So I thought that's pretty sweet.
Nice. That is pretty cool. I haven't seen that before.
All right. So after that, next up, we're going to have what's up on our list? Music and entertainment.
Ooh.
So I love this because as a DJ myself, I feel like, hey, like hire us, hire the DJs, right? But there
Yes.
are music and entertainment tools to customize wedding songs. Spotify just released an update just the other day that now you can add DJ elements to Spotify playlists. So you can keep things
Oh.
simple and just go a DJ Spotify playlist and let it run throughout.
Oh,
But in addition to that, there's also Suno AI. So Suno AI is probably the most talked about and probably the most popular music AI tool that's out there. So let me share that with you for a second.
and while you're getting that set up, I will say for those of you that are checking this out, whether if you're running the business, you probably already know this. If you're somebody watching this hoping to get help because you're not hiring a planner yet, words of wisdom. Do not skimp out on the DJ or music. You're going to think, "Oh, no problem, we can take care of it." No, they're your MC, and the last thing you want is to have just silence, especially during those times where you're taking an extra minute or guests are getting seated or now cocktail hour is over. Please, please, just do everyone a favor. It's okay. Find a way. Get some music there.
You gotta have the tune. So let's move over to if you haven't heard about it yet, let's move over to Suno. So Suno AI, again, it's one of the more popular music sites. So you can create songs, you can create lyrics. So like make a house song about quitting your job. And you can type in, put the prompt in. So think about this though. You can make a song. Let me get my big screen back in. So fellas, you can make a song about your vows. Mind blown. So think about this. You don't even have to write them down anymore. You can just put them in a song and wow her any way possible. That's the advantage of AI. So I digress. Let's get back to Suno. But yeah, so you can put prompts in here, you put ideas, and it's actually pretty cool. I actually eventually want to make a more songs. People are making albums and stuff now, and this is pretty awesome.
That is super cool. No, that's great to know that that's available. And like you said, something unique, right? Everybody, I feel like, is trying to bring in parts that are more special to them or that other people don't have, and I feel like that's a great way to incorporate that.
Next up, Vita, we have menu and caterings, right? So now we have to make sure we feed our people. I
Oh,
have a
I'm
couple tools. I have a couple tools for that one too.
okay.
All right, so obviously you can make food your own, but here's some good AI tools that you can use. So this one is called Dish Gen. So
Hmm.
customize recipes and meal plans, right? So you can customize however you want it to be, the size of the party and whatnot.
Oh, cool.
Um, and then obviously, I think you can always use ChatGPT too if you like.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd venture to say too, this is an area where, lean on some of the AI tools, but this definitely needs some manual input as well. And especially you as the professional, obviously you're running this business for a reason. People trust you. Odds are you've seen enough and dealt with enough vendors, or you're having that correspondence with maybe the venue, or if they had preferences for who they want catered, to be able to make sure there's input of not only what they're having, but how much, or they're going to know their party as well. Because sometimes if you know the group, that might kind of sway things as well that can't necessarily be accounted for with the AI.
Love it. All right,
Nice.
what's next? Next is video and photography.
Ooh, good one.
I I feel like this is a given. There's so many tools with this. Like you can almost just take still images of people now and create pictures, right? You don't even have to need you you don't even necessarily need like a full on. So think about this. You can take pictures or images of anything and you really can just customize them through Canva now, through HeyGen.
Yeah.
Um, there's so many tools that we can use. Um, so yeah, so many sorry. There's so many tools that you can use for
No,
that.
that's good. Yeah, and I think there's tools out there too, like, let's just say, ideally, you would have a photographer, videographer, but let's just say somebody's dealing with a smaller budget or trying to look for some options. Like you said, there's also ones that will make an image into a video, or if you needed to Photoshop someone in or adjust something, remove the background, things like that. All of that is very accessible nowadays.
Love it. Okay, so let's you have all these things, right? But who's coordinating, who's scheduling?
Ooh. Well, up until
Yes.
now, it's you and your,
Yeah.
pen and paper.
But this goes back to a lot of the stuff that we already talked about. So
Yeah,
as far as productivity, so how can you manage a wedding? You can use Notion, right?
mhm,
Which is like a project managing tool. You can use Monday, which is project managing tool.
yeah,
Reclaim AI, which is great for your calendar. Um, what are some other ones? You can make agents if you want it. You can technically do like Zapier and make and customize agents to respond to certain triggers or whatnot. There's
yeah.
so many things that you can do from a scheduling coordination standpoint that can take maybe 50 to 70% of the workload that you currently been doing just off your plate.
Yeah. Well, and I think so you can have that special touch on making sure it flows like it's supposed to. Automating things like emails to the vendors to just remind them, hey, the event's coming up, or emails to your clients, hey, not only when I say clients, it's not just the bride and groom, it's making sure the family, the bridal party, the groomsmen, anybody who's at the rehearsal dinner, like automating some of those emails or even the questions you get frequently, having some of that stuff automated. So whether it's an agent, an email, a text even, that might be a little bit different scenario, but especially the emails, how many emails are you sending that's consuming your day? We'd much rather you be focused on the client and the parts that actually need your personal input and expertise.
Love it. So we've gone through a lot thus far. And I
Yeah.
think the next one is actually vows and speeches. So I talked about it a little bit earlier. If you have Suno, fellas, if you have Suno, do your vows in a song format. But if you cannot do it, then you can always do it old school. Now, good question for you, Vita. Do you think more people are using ChatGPT to do their vows?
Oh, 100%. You know they are. You know they are. Oh, man, and I would encourage you to, like, use it to brainstorm, but honestly, people, like, it's okay to still speak from the heart and write occasionally too, Put your own spin on it, put in some of your own stories or, your own personal twist. There's gonna be things that that ChatGPT is not gonna figure out.
And let us know in the comments for your vows. Would you use ChatGPT or would you use Claude? I think
Ooh,
that each of them could put together something a little bit different, and I'd be curious to see what that looked like.
I think Claude's where it's at for this.
I
Just
think
saying.
so. I think Claude would be better for chat for vowels. All
Yeah.
right, so then we did the music, we did the catering, did the menus, we did pretty much everything. There's tools for AI for everything.
Yeah.
Now it's post wedding memories. So I think
Mm,
this is cool because you have a couple different options here.
Yeah.
And the cool thing about this is I feel like this is where AI comes in the most because you can use tools like HeyGen to create, wedding, wedding, what are they called? Not invitations, but to send out like the post wedding send outs, like the thank you cards, thank you notes. You can use
Yeah.
avatars to kind of help out with that. There's so many photo editing tools that you can use. There's a tool called Animoto. So let me show you what Animoto looks like real fast.
Mhm. It's a fun name too.
So Animoto is going to make professional photos, professional videos. Again, it's all about like the post wedding memories. This is just one of the tools that can be used. All right, so you don't need a big budget. You can just take some of the images, some of the clips that you have, and you can put them together into something really nice.
Cool.
So pretty cool templates to use. I haven't used this one as much, but I definitely am eager to kind of play around with it a little bit some more. So
Yeah.
um,
That might be a nice like
yeah,
stake, or if you wanted to like share a little snippet to your social media or something after the wedding, that might be nice.
so I guess I want to ask you, for those that are in the industry, for those that are, not just a high from the Taylor and Travis wedding, but for those who are actually wedding planners in this space, what advice would you give them on how to use AI or any other type of tools to kind of get their flow together?
Yeah, I think that's a great question of how can you use AI as a wedding planner or even somebody in the event space? And I think it's the same as our other messages. I think it remains consistent that AI is a partner. So I highly recommend at least being curious, find something to try, find one task or one tool, and just start from there. See how you can incorporate it, see how it feels. If it is alleviating some of the tasks and things that you're doing, amazing, keep using it. If not, try something else. Not everything is going to work for you, and it's going to have to make sense for you and your business. But I think partnering with it is the biggest thing, not looking at it as a replacement or that it could take over everything you do. Because the reality is, like we've said earlier, you do have to be part of this process as well.
Yeah, and obviously being putting together a wedding is probably a fun event, right? So you wouldn't want to just auto generate everything, right? You want to make sure you have some manual input. But if you are, in a sense, a wedding planner solopreneur or something like that where you have to do it all yourself, these are some tools that you can use today to really help you out with that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I can't help with all the dynamics of the parties and everything, but it can help you out with your back end stuff for sure. All right, so there we go. We have built out potentially our wedding for you today. We definitely wanted to make sure to highlight different types of entrepreneurs and let you know that you are seen, you are in the right place. We are looking at AI as a partner, not a replacement. So if you found this helpful, please make sure to check out some of our other videos, hang out with us for a while. And of course, as always, please show your support by hitting subscribe and the like button below.